Welcome back to my adventures in the Forgotten Realms, playing Baldur's Gate Trilogy. This is Gamer 1745 here. Okay, the headline of this episode is we're going to do the starting opening moves, whatever you want to call it, of Shadows over Soubar. You're really, if you want to role play it the way it was intended to play, you need to get this sort of kicked off before going out to Brynlaw and Spellhold, to rescue Emo. And though there are other ways to start it if you don't, and it is meant, the main major quest element of it is meant to be played with 15 level players. Now we have sort of an Uber party, partially because of all of our items, but I do know part of the mod you have to get rid of all of your items that get issued standard equipment, and the type of armor and such, like plate armor, that is set somehow so even like Zon and Fade, if she's with us, could wear it, although I think it will disable their special ability, magic casting, casting spells and thief abilities and things like that. So take that very much to heart, and we can see, sure, multi-class and dual class get something of an advantage, but when we look here at single, he's just 12, he's just 13, so it's getting close, it's getting doable, but it's really meant, and if I remember correctly, it's fairly tough. So we're going to do that. Now, the second sort of headline of this episode is, this is a remake. I screwed up the settings when I recorded this the first time. So I have the other version, which I can see and read it, but I won't go into it. Won't make a good episode. So I'm just going to try to replay it, do more or less the same type of stuff, cover the same material as we did last time. So so I may be sort of stopping sort of play, or the video series, and you may hear the audio play of the old episode or something while I check on some detail there during it. Just sort of a head up, because I made 2 episodes after this, which the settings and everything were just fine. I just happened to notice when going and looking at this that actually I noticed when I was going in and renaming, because it just sort of puts out a string of numbers when I record the episodes, and then I name them sort of initials, like BGT underscore MM for Mega Mod, and then like the episode number or something. When I was going to rename them, I noticed the thing was wrong. So yeah, okay, well, we're going to start right now, I guess, and do this. It really doesn't, I'm not sure, quite honestly, because remember, this was 2015, and when I'm making this video, it's late 2018. So when I did this, I don't know if I had the max hit points on level up adjustment. I know way back when I played, and before that was a thing, I would make sure, not that they had max hit points, but they had more than half of the possible hit points on leveling up. Well, it doesn't really matter anymore so much because he's past level 10. You only roll dice for hit points on level 10, and then you get, based on your constitution, bonuses. I don't know exactly for hit dice or hit point bonus, where if it's even showing here, but you get a little bonus. So level up, saving throws reduced by 2, except for breath weapon, which is reduced by 3. And another priest spell, and here is the here was what he gets, 3 hit points, and well, we don't get a new proficiency slot yet. Okay, so that's fine. So he's got a few more hit points, which is good.
Yes.
Oh, and of course that's all adjusted by other things. So let's go.
Consider it done.
Have you heard me say one of the things I would really... I don't know if they have. I've watched a couple of videos, but I haven't really played the enhanced editions, mostly because of this game and originally the lack of mods for it. But I would really wish you had a keep formation option, that as much as possible, you know, like if you got to squeeze through a narrow pathway or around something or whatever it might be, it may adjust, you know, the formation, but it resets the formation to whatever the, because you can click and see all these different possible formations. I will do my best. And keeps the formation as much as possible, so you would move at the rate of the slowest person moving. And so like if you wanted to have this guard formation around it or whatever it might be, you got some pretty cool formations here. You just right click on one of them, and so you could do that. And of course the silver dot is where your main, your top character is, whatever the top character. Not doesn't have, because you can move if you have, say, a magic user protagonist that's fairly weak, you know, is in a fighting situation, you very much may want him not to be in the lead, or if you do have him at the top, you can have like the arrowhead and keep him there. So there's a lot, but this is just a nice sort of standard formation sense for most pathways. I'll use this sometimes for consistent narrow hallways. Rarely do I use other formations, but they're there and they're nice. Or dare you steal? This is a matter that's best handled locally. No, wasn't stealing. It's my friend. Here you go. Okay. Alright, I'll be on my way then. Okay, that's Silence. Yes. Let's go talk to Silence.
I've been looking for strong men like yourselves.
You're drawing unwanted attention to me and my activities. Leave me alone. Now I shall return to my job. Okay, she sort of hides in shadows, casts invisible. And we're waiting for the bus to go by. Okay, and basically she is now disappeared until you meet certain conditions. You can force her, you know, remove, you know, true sight or something, but otherwise she stays and she won't talk to you. Coo, brother, come here for a moment, would ya? Okay.
Very well.
Galen Bale. Coo, you're getting yourself in some hot water dealing with that one, I'll tell you. The pickpocket, do you know her? I know her. I know of her. She's a bit of a pickpocket, but she'll also take care of anything you're looking to rid yourself of. So she's a fence. Coo. I don't want to be saying too much here, but Silence will help you out if she thinks you're powerful enough to deal with. Listen, I know what she wants from folk who are pretty smart and don't really want to be mixing yourself with her unless you think you can do this the hard way. Do what? You know what she wants from me. You know. Fine. So what's this going to cost me? Oh, it's real easy. Okay, basically, 10,000 gold pieces. You don't have to pay that. That would just be, I don't know about the 100,000, but it's partially just a way to delay things until you are at least a certain level. I can't talk about this right now. Perhaps we can talk later. Cool. Right. Okay.
What is my task? Done.
Now, to move this forward, of course, you could have done it sort of in your usual course of adventures, but I sort of avoided it to sort of keep from triggering it back then. But we want to trigger it now. Oh, I also found this and looking things around. This Tradeway Merchant Camp, way up here. I think, looking at it, it just has a guy in a tent with some guards around him, basically, near a bridge. I think and when I get ready to leave, it sort of moves it to this part of the map. I think it's meant to be just out in here somewhere along the tradeway. I think it's just a mess up on its placement in the map is why I hadn't seen it until sort of looking around at it. But yeah, just sort of wanted you to know about that. I do hope much of this has been corrected in later versions. Again, like one of the improved Anvil, I think I said this, I'm like using version 5, and it's the newest version out when I was looking. It was like version 6.4, 6.5 or something like that. I forget exactly what, but it was, you know, much later versions that are out now. And so I'm presuming much of that has been fixed. Don't know for sure, obviously. Because even if some of the mods don't really have maintainers, there's been a few good people that have been trying to do basic sort of simplistic fixes to it and releases without disturbing the original mod maker's intent. Especially with something like that, as it may very well fit, be in the perfect right spot for the standard Shadows of Amn map, you know. Just that would sort of maybe place it right outside of the Athkatla kind of thing, but because we're using this big, huge map, as you can see this, you know, going up to the Sword Coast up here, Baldur's Gate, and so you can see if that's that, and having it show up sort of over here seems like a reasonable thing, but you can come over here. There's Watcher's Keep, you know, Windspar Hills. Unfortunately, I don't know if I have easily accessible I'm sure it's still around, but I know I have it on an older computer. Be able to look at this in full size, but we can't all at once. I'm meaning, okay. I've tried to go there again and uber power demons and devils and or whatever fiends of the lower planes. But so you can see it's sort of, I'm looking right now for Hondolith. It's on here somewhere. Here it is. This is another, of course, city to go to with these 3 big areas. Right now, if you may have noticed a while ago, I posted a bug video and yet to get a satisfactory answer, and maybe something I could fix, but I just at this moment don't have a patience to try to fix it to one of the major sort of plot points in it, so I'm not going out there and starting that yet. But that's just sort of a thing. Okay. This is the guy we need to talk to here.
It shall be.
I sense power within you. You have power well beyond that of normal mortals, true?
Who are you to know much about me?
I am Seb. I have followed your progress in this world for as long as I have been aware that you exist. Which I must say has been nearly 4 years since you first left your childhood home.
Why would you be interested in my life, my doings? I don't really think it's any of your concern what I do.
You are half correct. Your personal business is not. What is my concern, however, is the fact that you are indeed Bhaalspawn. Ah, you are surprised. Nay, do not be surprised that I know this. I know much that is hidden within you, within others like you, and even within me. Ah, that surprises you even more. Yes, you begin to understand. I too carry the blood of Bhaal in my veins, though I have not the abilities you do. The taint of Bhaal's burning blood is much weaker within me than it is in you. As such, I am not one to be hunted, harassed, or even experimented on for my power. But you on the other hand, you experience all of those, and you are being hunted by those who wish you harm, and those who would seek your aid. You know that you are being hunted by those who wish to cause you harm, or even those who seek to learn from you. But you do not know that you are currently being hunted by good folk, folk who need your help. I will explain to you about these folks, strangers in trade meat, for they approached me nearly a 10-day ago. It was here in this tavern that two men, northerners from their accents, secured lodgings.
They were quite quiet folk, rented a room and ate a few meals together.
I know that is not so strange in itself, but before they retired for the night, they began asking unusual questions about things that people in these parts do not like to talk about. Questioning the other patrons about the prospect of war in the south caused me to take notice from the corner, and I must admit my curiosity was piqued when they mentioned the unmentionable word, Bhaalspawn. They did not know who they spoke of, but they were searching for a Bhaalspawn. I do not think that these two men had particular Bhaalspawn in mind, but they wanted to find one nevertheless. When they began questioning me, I had to restrain my words to keep my own secret hidden from these men, for I suspect they are, or were, fairly clever at finding a Bhaalspawn.
What is this all about? What did they want to do when they found a Bhaalspawn? Why do you say, or were? Did you do something to these men?
No, of course not. I am not a violent man. I only tried to keep my secret hidden from those two, and taking any defensive tone in our conversation would have only heightened their suspicions of me. To answer your other questions, I do not know what this is about. I do not know what they wanted, other than to find a Bhaalspawn, and I do believe that they were close to discovering the names of some Bhaalspawn, but I do not know if it was you in particular they knew about. Like I said earlier, you are not a simple adventurer. You attract attention with the path that you have chosen. I would not be surprised if word comes to them of your existence and name. I warn you, it cannot be long before they question someone who knows you or has heard of you.
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. Soldiers, hush, I heard a noise yonder. What, where? We'll displace and return to the village. Somebody shot something. Okay.
Nature's servant awaits.
So he's now sort of prepared himself for something. Don't know what, but okay.
Never had rats. No sorry.
You're not rented this time?
It is done.
On my honor, with
You're
all
not
speed.
mercenaries, are you? I hate those money-grubbing scum.
Okay, maybe it's because he's gone into that.
It
I
shall
don't know.
be.
Somebody's looking for something else. Yes, looks. Okay, well, let's head back to Athkatla. Where did you go get lost to? There. Okay, well, let's stop on the way. We can rest outside here. There we
I
go.
will do my best.
Well, actually, since we are outside,
Yes.
or at night, I mean more so than anything else, let's go to the graveyard. We need to move a few plots along a little there too. I don't know if silence will be there at night, but she very well may. Maybe it's getting too late. I was hoping to meet the little boy again. No, probably too late. Okay, well.
As you ask.
Ah, see. Oh. What time is it here? Hour 6, I guess that's 6 a.m. So yeah, we will rest again.
It shall be.
I got some cheap beer for you.
Consider it done.
Okay, now back to Joaquin's promenade. You do know Joaquin is missing. I think I was making that joke before. I know I was making before. I don't know if you heard it before though.
With all speed.
Okay, and there's silence. Psst. Hey, hey. There. Okay.
It shall be.
You must speak quietly away from prying ears. I've been waiting for your return to Athkatla. I'm waiting for you per an agreement I made with some old friends of mine. They asked me to pass along some information to you. What is it you know? Tell me. In due time, I have some patience. First, you must prove to me and my old friend you are worth the task which lay ahead. This too was part of the agreement. When you've shown your value, then only then shall you be told what you need to know. Okay, yes, of course. You shall of course have the opportunity to perform this task as you see fit, but I shall tell you what I require for a successful resolution. If you do not do this job for me, then there will be no need for you to tell me how to find the contacts who asked me to find you, as you could not prove that you can handle the tasks which may lay ahead in your future. Very well, let me hear what it is you want me to do. Good, straight to the point. I like that. Now, this is what I need you to do. You know the government district of Athkatla is good. Right now, I want you to go there and find Sir William's home. It is close to the center of the district, just south of the park. Sir William, he sounds like an important noble. Are you trying to get me to do something illegal? Just listen before you make any judgments. Like I said, go to Sir William's home. He owes me money for services he received but never paid for. It is pretty simple, Trefod, to just get the gold he owed to me. I don't know where he would keep it, but I have a feeling it is in his home someplace. Why don't you just go get it? Yeah, and doesn't want to deal with the authorities. I really don't care how you get the money or what you have to do to get it. Just I want you to get paid for your work. Okay, Sir William will say, I do not know. I've heard rumors that he is out of the city on business, perhaps in Waterdeep. Get my gold, do not return unless you have completed this job. Okay. Now, like I sort of warned you, I'm clicking off and I'm going to pull up a web page with the walkthrough here of it on. Okay. Well, a little bigger type than that. There we go. So. Okay, so now we need to go to the government district.
Consider it done. I will do my best. As if I had nothing better to do.
I am Sir William's butler. I regret to inform you that Sir William is out of the city on business and he is not home at present. I would suggest you call again another time. Is there anything else I could do for you, my lord? Okay, and at least one of the likely or possible good responses is number one, why Sir William is not... I know why Sir William is. He sent me here. I am to bring him monies for a business deal that he wishes to participate in. Lord William is always absent-minded, dear Tamora. He would forget his clothes if it weren't for me for packing the luggage. And then we want to go to... He asked me to return with the money he keeps locked in the safe behind the painting. Don't know how we would know that. And then... where did you come from after meeting with... we're going to do Brian Law. Then, my lord, I am sure Sir William is distracted with his affairs on the island. It is most likely simple oversight on his part. I will just point you to the painting right there at the parlor. Sir William keeps his private safe behind that painting. And he forgot to give me the key. I shall have to go back and get it. I would suggest absent-minded dear tomorrow. Forget his clothes, yes. Where can I find... Okay, that would be a time saver. So that's the path we need to do just to get the proper setup for when we're out there. We need to get the key from him. The safe is not pickable. It requires the key. And also I do know, I forget exactly what form it is, but I do know the money that we need is not just more gold pieces, it's actual something that like says bag of money or some such thing that we need to give it, so it's a specific item. I'm sure you could cheat the item in one fashion or another, but That's what we need to do to get that. Okay. Well, let's head back to here. I think we need to sleep a bit to wait for the evening. But like I say, I'm going to look over here. Okay, yeah. Now we're gonna go get to the darkness and then head back to the graveyard again. I know this is sort of breaking the flow of things. Sorry about that. I like to sort of keep to some degree in the moment of the game. Better immersion. But I'm going to pick up with a later save than this, so I want to make sure I get the stuff shown correctly here for you guys if you're trying to figure out how to get through a playthrough or some such thing. Okay, what time will it be at night? Unless, or will it be at nighttime? Yes, good.
It shall be.
Out to the graveyard.
Consider it done.
And there he is. No, no, no. Don't go all the way around the other pathway. Just come over here.
With all speed.
So we've got to get this right. The rest of the Zeus I found. Oh yes, I could go to sleep if only I had him. Again, I'm sorry, I'm not doing this the best job. Would you get him for me? Would you please, please, please? Very well, do you know where your bear is? Yes, Sniff, the bad man in the end, and some copper, something Sniff. Okay, so now we need to put the spirit to rest by getting his bear. Okay, I forget exactly what's behind each of these doors. But, well, let's, first we can, oh, shoot, did we ever? No, I did, but I didn't, but, damn, okay. Another stone skin. Been needing those a bit more recently. And there we go. Okay. And we're going to give us all courage.
What do you require? Consider it done.
Okay, well, this I think just has some
Well,
loot
of
in
course
it.
I can do that.
And it's different
I will
every
do
time.
my best.
And you didn't find a damn trap. Oh, lovely.
Yes. Very well.
Oh, this is back down in here. Okay. That's right. Stairs means going down, so we want to look for just Doors that you go into without stairs. There we go. And here we go.
Await your word. It shall be.
Where Minsk goes, evil stands aside.
Weapon has no
That's
effect.
not right.
Yeah.
Yes? Consider it done.
Okay. Yes, I know it's a spoiled antidote, but at least one of the...
Yes.
Oh, look for traps. Look for traps. Giving you some moments to look for traps. Look for traps. Have you found any traps? No. Okay, now unlock it.
With all speed.
I guess it doesn't really
It
matter
shall
because none
be.
of this playthrough is actually going to be kept afterwards.
Consider it done.
None of the gear or loot. Well, this is a fairly important one for some of the story here.
You there. You must help me. Please. I beg of you.
The voice acting for this, don't know which mod introduces this, but is really good for this and the other characters involved. Who? What are you? My name is Baseman. I was once a messenger for the council, and I traveled the land on various missions. I had experienced almost everything except for one. I had never experienced love. That is until the day I met Basara. She was an ex-cleric of Sune, cast out of her sect by vicious rumors that were both untrue and unfair. She was traveling alone in the countryside, not far from the city, and she was pitiful when I met her. Her clothes were torn, her face tear-streaked, and a certain grace and beauty still emanated from her nonetheless. We spent the day together walking the fields, along the streams. I had always scoffed the idea of love at first sight, but being without Basara changed all that for me. I knew right then and there that my life seemed complete. I was in love. Truly beautiful story. Please go on. I realized that I had fallen dreadfully behind on schedule, so I begged her to return with me to the city. At first she did not agree, as the thought of seeing the Temple of Sune even from a distance would break her heart even more. She must have realized that she loved me as well, and she finally decided to join me in my return. Things did not go well. Upon our arrival, however, every cleric of Sune we passed ridiculed her, and it broke my heart to see her anguish. We hurried back to the council chambers, where I awaited my fate as well. Tardiness is not looked upon for a messenger, is not looked well upon for a messenger, and the council just finished an especially stressful debate. So none of its members were in very high spirits. I was fired on the spot. I have nowhere to go. We wandered the city for a while, finally settling in the slums. We lived in the streets, doing odd jobs where we could find them. But we never let depression bring us down. We had each other. We were both very happy, I understand. I'm glad for you. So where do I come into this? We were very happy, but also very poor. Now, you see, when I ran into Basara outside the city, she was actually on her way to Esmeltron? Sorry. Where much of her family still lives. It seemed that her uncle entered into partnership with an ambitious dwarf to mine a potential lithium vein far to the east. Their luck paid off, and it turned out to be one of the largest finds in all of Am. Basara's uncle, instantly wealthy and lucky for us, very giving. Somehow he found us there in the slums. A good man he was. He never questioned how his niece had fallen so far. He gave only from his heart. With the money he gave us, we were able to afford a small home near Joaquin's Promenade, I was able to work for Ingi, who owns a shop just above the Adventurers Mart there in the Promenade, as he had a courier service on the side. Sarah found a job with Mira, who also had a shop on the Promenade, keeping track of her inventory. We were both very happy and lived a life of pure love. How did you die, and why are you not at peace? My end was not a pleasant one. It came to pass that Becerra learned that she was with child. Not long afterwards, Ingi informed me my next mission, one that would be dangerous indeed. I was to deliver a message to his contact in Kalimport. He had booked me a passage on a ship leaving soon, and the trip would not have taken too long. Becerra begged me not to go. We had a terrible fight just before I left our home. We were so upset that we did not kiss each other goodbye, something we had done before. Every trip on which I was embarked, I remember the fact that when it was too late, I was on the ship, navigating through the high seas. We were attacked by pirates not far from port, and I caught an enemy arrow right through my heart. My body presumably returned to the city where I was entombed. I do not recall my funeral. I woke up in my current state some time later. I can only guess that this is some curse brought on by something I have done, though I do not know what it may be. So what do you want from me? I do not know. I suppose I cannot expect a total stranger to be able to aid me in my predicament. I have been pondering this curse for long now. Perhaps... Sorry, I'm reading this a bit fast, I know. Let me slow down a bit. Perhaps it is time to accept my fate, but seeing my beloved just one last time would bring joy to my heart. I would dearly love to give her one last kiss, but I fear that she will not want to kiss me in my current condition. Perhaps not. Where might I find Becerra? Her love for you will likely see past your current state to the man she once still loves. You are a kind man to do this for me. I cannot be certain how long I have been locked in this tomb, but perhaps Mira would have some information. Her shop is not far from the circus on the promenade. It is an open-air market under a yellow and orange awning. I will do my best. I would be pleased to see you earn your eternal peace. Okay.
I will. Yes.
Oh.
Jump on my sword while you can, Evil. I won't be as gentle.
Very well.
Great fun! That's not
A
right.
dangerous mistake. To battle and victory! Done.
Live by the sword. Live a good long time.
Okay, look for traps.
Why
Look
don't you
for
let
traps.
me squeeze through there?
I want to say I was sorry to hear about your capture and subsequent inquiry. I'm surprised, Jerry. I think we have more in common than you could imagine. Well, we may have this conversation again because this didn't happen before. And we're not going to save past this.
It shall.
That's sort of why I rushed through that.
Consider it done. With all speed.
Vampire.
You point, I punch. Stand back for justice.
I go.
right.
Go help out Jahira. Minsky's better able to take care of himself. There we go.
Yes?
Now look for traps.
Finished.
No, look for traps. Find the traps. No traps? Okay. Not locked? Okay.
See battle bow. Run, bow, run!
Oh yes, this is something we need to look a little bit at. Wrong type. Let's put this down there. And we need to take a quick look at this. Okay, Wand of Soul Binding. This is a powerful soul binding, or one of the powerful soul binding wands. These are created by powerful mages to entrap and enslave spirits of their foes. This particular wand was used to capture Benwald the Colossus, a powerful barbarian warrior who was on a mission to destroy the Mage Enclave. Now that sort of kind of justifies doing this. If you're in a Mage Enclave, maybe you were doing a bunch of evil things, but barbarians often just think mages for themselves are evil. Instead of killing, it might be good to trap the soul of the person to use. Okay. Holds the soul of Benwald the Colossus. So let's come up here, use the item.
What can it be now?
It appears I have a new master. What are you talking about? I abhor slavery. You would grant me my freedom. It seems a millennia since I tasted freedom. I fear that it would be without this magic wand I would wither and die, but that would be preferable to this cursed life. I will free you. What do I have to do? Really, I find it difficult to believe that there is a person who would forsake this powerful device in order to do the right thing. If you would free me, take this wand to a wizard so that he can be able to use a box of disruption to break the wand. You have that my word that you will be free. Okay, now he is sort of permanent. He'll stay out in this. I don't know if he dies. I presume he will come back or something. Have you found the wizard with a box of disruption yet? No, not yet. I will continue my search. Okay, but go back into the wand. So be it. So, because I don't want him wandering around there. So we have, at least for a while, another sort of possible person to help fighting combat.
Very well.
I think, yes, up here. This is where we want to go now. We'll meet an old friend. No, you come up here.
For goodness!
I await as I would have done.
Done.
We meet again. I do hope the season finds you well.
Hello, Angelo. Me, a dirty fugitive from justice who'd just be strung up 10 ways if they ever caught him back in the gate. I don't make any jokes about stirring up, please. You I beg your pardon, but you look to have fallen on hard times yourself. I need help, you need help. It would seem to me that we have a commercial situation on our hands. What do you mean? I have been too cryptic for your liking. Let's put our cards on the table. I am suggesting that we join forces. You'll be the boss. I'll do for you now what I did for your brother before. You so cleverly pointed out that you killed your brother. Remember that he got pretty far before he did. And if that doesn't strike your fancy, have a look at these. Railtar Anshev was one hard character, but his son was a touch harder. When me and him broke into Candlekeep to do for the old man, this here is what we use. Sembian spell breaks. One touch of That saps the magic out of anything, like out of a keg of fine brandy, damn near priceless, deadly in the right hands, and all yours along with me. Trefada, you and me, we both have walked some distance in this lousy world. We understand each other, Yena. I've killed you once, I'll kill you twice. Then I'll give you a fight to remember. Well met, Trefada, and farewell. Okay, well.
As you ask.
Yes, if it would help.
That's not right.
Don't know if we were supposed to hear that coherently or not. Okay.
Consider it done.
He was an evil bastard. So we have Sembian spell breaks, no arcane spell casting, 5% magic resistance, allows the leader to cast breach once per day. Well, okay, that might be useful at some point. I think that's just a regular katana. Yeah, we'll drop that.
With all speed. Cast off your old beliefs and be saved.
You too will die for disturbing my rest. Okay, well.
It shall be.
Where Minsk goes, evil
Let's
stands
cast
beside.
Courage again. What time you speak about? Yeah, we're not paying. We'll either have already seen those, I think. Hopefully, well, maybe we saw them earlier in this episode. I don't know. Didn't we just cast
I think
Courage
that's
on
a
everybody?
lovely idea.
I thought as much.
Yeah. Faster than Chick. Take a fast pause.
A dangerous mistake.
Okay. Look for traps.
All right.
Consider it done.
And Albrun +1. Immunity poison effects, but it's a bastard sword, so no one's using that. Rod of Refuge, that could come in very, very handy. Zahn will get over his panic in a moment.
I will do my best.
This, as I said before, we really could have used it recently. Vampire Hunter +5. That would have really been useful. Longsword, either Trefada or Mince could have used that. Different spell, I think, this time. Spell shield. Okay, well, let's put that in there.
What is my task? Yes.
There's somewhere that we should go that we haven't here. I don't. Oh, yeah. Up where Jeeves' mourners were standing out front
Very
of.
well.
This, I think, has some interesting stuff going on in it. I think. Maybe not.
Well, of course I can do that.
Okay, I guess
On my
not.
honor. Done.
We'll head out.
As you ask.
We need to get a bear. We need to talk to Mira in Joaquin's promenade. Like I said, have I ever said I want to have a keep formation button? And the way I would have it work is when you have them all selected and then you know, say go here, they would keep their formation as best as possible. Now when you like send them off into different formations, obviously they're not in a formation to keep. Just when they're all selected and told to go somewhere as a group, they would do so in formation.
Consider it done.
But I have little to no influence over these things. And unfortunately my YouTube views are for this game are much, much lower than everyone else's. They got like 80,000 or more views.
With all speed.
Per video. Yeah, a little jealous. Yeah, I don't think we need Lester in our party. We got too many people as it is. Okay. Oh. Well, no, you come over here. Okay, you come out here.
I'll do it.
You come here, you come out
As you would have it.
here. I want Zon to come in here, though.
Swords, not words.
Consider it done. I need a good,
Ah.
strong.
Oh, pardons me. I thought you were that bloody ghost again. Again, you've been visited by a ghost before? Unfortunately, a ghost is sometimes haunting me. Terrible, frightening thing it is. Why would a ghost be haunting you? Or, I don't know, can't say for sure, excuse me, but this does be my private room. Could you please leave? This ghost wouldn't be haunting you because it is a little boy you murdered and robbed, would it? Hand over his bear now. You're here to retrieve his bear. I think I have it around here somewhere. Yes, let me have a look. Oh yes, here it is. Give it to the little bloody bastard and tell him to stay away from me. You don't deserve to live, you murdering fiend. See, he's a little bloody bastard, and you're the one that killed him. Okay, so we're going to take you out. That is why I wanted him in here.
What is the point?
There we go. Detect invisibility. There we go.
Very well. Done.
Now we need to return it at night, so we gotta go back to the graveyard.
As you ask. It shall be. Consider it done.
Who are you?
Mama, do you know where little man is? Do you have him? Yes, Wellyn, here is your bear. You can go to sleep now. You have him, you have him. Oh, thank you, sir, thank you. I can go to sleep now, thank you. There we go. Good, another good deed done. Okay, we're going to go to Joaquin's Promenade, even though I think we sort of need to be there in the day, but there's a couple of inns we could go rest at. Uh-oh, these guys. Didn't we already kill them?
I am the predator that
10
lives
over,
above.
yeah, stand and declare your allegiance. Why are you asking? Yes, I currently work for the Shadow Thieves. You will die for your association. Up in, okay.
With all speed.
Minsk, jump on my sword while you can, evil.
done.
I
Hello
won't be
there.
as gentle.
There's more where that came from.
Uh-oh, that's why we did a few more of these things. To get rid of that.
That's not right.
Okay, you need to...
In Bear's name, it shall be done.
It shall be.
Every hunt, the bigger they are, the
You just
harder
follow
I
me
hit.
and stay close.
Okay.
I am willing. You require nothing more?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we took them vampires that we already killed down. And they, to the point, killed them and staked them. No, 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 come this way, not try to go all the way around to somewhere where you can't get through. Like, did I ever say I'd like better pathfinding for these guys? Yes, I know I'm sort of in a hurry-up mode. Because quite honestly right now this replaying is just a chore. It's not enjoyable. It was enjoyable playing it the first time and recording it the first time. But having to go back through it. And I'm doing it very similar, not the same, but
I will do my best.
very similar. Who's that? Somebody we should know. Sir Sulexi? Okay. Ah, yes, we want to see your selections. And rent so that it turns daylight. Let's head back out. And that's the big tent for Mira here.
I await
Might
your
as
word.
well. Stone skin up. As we just saw, now that was at night, of course, but we could be facing attack at any time. Did you not get the word? Oh, well enough. Okay.
Anything you need, I can likely provide, I assure you.
Good business to you. I have not seen you here today. I have the fortune of meeting a stranger in the city of Coin. Yes, I am new to Athkatla. My name is Trefada. Pleased to meet you. I am Mira, proprietor of this stall and wares. You have been delivered by Pearl to me. I think. Have a look at my stock and ask me whatever you wish. Okay, I don't see. Well, maybe I took. Certainly, let's see what you have for sale. Okay. Potions. Golden book bag. Don't like the colors, but I like the idea of a book bag. Okay. Ah, here it is. Pardon me, madam, but I'm looking for information on one of your employees. Only had one employee, sweet young Basara. That's the one you seek? Then I'm afraid she no longer works here. Yes, that is the one I seek. Do you know where I might find her then? More than likely she's at the Copper Coronet. The poor dear took to visiting the place when her husband died. From what I hear, the back rooms offer plenty of opportunity for her to forget her sorrows, if you catch my drift. Such a tragedy that the poor girl has been through. If you see her, let her know that she will always have a job with Old Mira. I will do that. I may be able to bring her peace at last. Thank you for all your help. Okay, I hope you'll find her. Okay.
Yes? As you ask.
Like I've been going on about, I really love Baldur's Gate 1 better than this in the sense of the world. It's so hard to get in and out of this Joaquin's Promenade. They really, and now, if you look at the sort of swamp map that with the Druid Grove in it, it's a long sort of twisty maze to get through it. Now that I get because it's meant to sort of in a square area, meant representing a long, because it sort of snakes back and forth and around, but it represents a long trek through the forest to get to where you need to go. So they could have theoretically done the same thing in a very long map. Now, what I love about Baldur's Gate 1 is the outside map and then the Baldur's Gate city map are complete. Now, if you look at sort of a Dungeons and Dragons role-playing map of like Baldur's Gate, it's much more detailed, much more stuff going on. So, but within it, you get this feeling that you got the 9 quadrants of the map, and you can move around from one to the other. Then once you sort of unlock them, you can jump from different places around it. But you're moving around. It seems like you're really moving around a city in a normal fashion. Where here you're going through all these weird, convoluted things. Like I was talking earlier about the city that, or the trade road area. You know, if they had really done, you know, something like this for this, it would have been great. Now, for the story, the plot line, the adventures, this is as good or better than Baldur's Gate 1. I'm not knocking that at all. And they may have found from player research that all that extra stuff was maybe not either unnecessary or disliked, but I loved it. I love the idea, especially when I early on in playing it. It was just, I'm out of Candle Keep, and I can wander around the world. What is out here? I wasn't even at start looking so much at playing through the main quest thing. It was just like, oh, this is a world to explore, and it felt like a world to explore versus gotta go to the quest areas. So that was that's why I like that better. Okay, and we know that this is Visera.
Go away. Leave me alone. I beg you.
My head hurts. How long have I been without Lotus? Go. You are Visera, are you not? I beg. I bring news of your husband. Good news, perhaps. My husband, is this some kind of joke? My husband is dead, you fool. He was taken from me before I could say goodbye. I know this is difficult to hear, but you must believe. I have heard this story already. I have met your husband. He is very much alive, dead. Perhaps not. Basemen told me that you were unjustly accused. I believe, yeah. I'm sorry. A blessing? How can such an abomination of life be considered a blessing? My husband is dead. Whatever is in this crypt is but a shell of a man. Believe me, he is quite in possession of his soul. His body is decayed, that is true, but his soul lives on there. I think that Sune has given you a chance to say goodbye the way things should have been. Meet me in his crypt and you will see for yourself. Very well, I will do as you ask, but only because I have nothing left to lose. If you are lying, however, I will fight you to my own death. I assure you, milady, I speak the truth. I will meet you there shortly. Don't be long. I'm not going to stand around the graveyard all day. Okay, so we're going to head back there.
Consider it done. I will do my best.
You were right. He is here, but he's... Oh, I can't bear to look at him.
His body is not what it once was, Becerra, but his soul is still that of the man you loved.
Sierra, my love, it is I. It is so good to see you again.
Baseman, I cannot believe this is real. Oh, I've missed you so. Not a day passes that I don't think about what we said the day you left. Think not of it, my dear. We were foolish. I should have listened and stayed by your side. I regret that I will never see our child. Our child did not survive. He was stillborn when I received news of your death. I became ill, and it likely killed our child. I withdrew into a deep depression. I sold our house, quit my job, wandered the streets, learned of the Black Lotus and its effects. I have spent what money I have left to rid myself of my memories. Becerra, I know this. I will always love you no matter what. No matter what. Kiss me, and perhaps we can break this curse, this blessing, that we both be at peace. And I love you, kiss. One final kiss, my love, be at peace. And he's gone.
He's gone. Again. May he be at peace at last.
And you as well, Becerra. You must live your life. That's what basemen would have wanted. Mira is offering you your job back. You can try to find happiness once again. You are right. I was foolish to think that I should lose my problems in the mysteries of the Black Lotus. I must work hard to earn back what I wasted it on. For now, I am destitute. Perhaps I can help you get back on your feet. Take these 500 gold pieces, but you must swear not to spend them on Black Lotus. I swear, my lord, on the soul of baseman, I have not taken any of the Lotus for several days now. Anyways, I could not afford it even then. But thank you again for putting both my and baseman's lives at peace. My gratitude knows no bounds. Okay, reputation increased. And got some more. Let's see, is there a trap on this?
I need you to watch my back.
Is it locked?
Our
Yes.
actions are good and will serve the greater balance.
On my honor. Yes.
And a gold piece, okay. Now let me look at the other video here. Okay, well, we're going to end this here. I think we'll have some overlapping content. Looking at the video, I think I went a little too far. But anyway, so you may see some of this repeated in the next episode. I want to thank you so much for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. Please tell a friend about this series or even an enemy. And also, yeah, just see you next time for more adventures in the Forgotten Realms.